poprzednim odcinku.
O kurde. To nie pogadamy po obiedzie. Rozumiem, że zejście tam nie wchodzi w grę. Syp na węgiel? Mają taki? Nie sądzę. To może najpierw porozmawiam z panią.
We need to examine the maid's body in the cellar.
To find out who killed her.
To be sure she was murdered before we start pointing fingers.
Okej. W porządku. Rozumiem, że musimy wejść tam od ogrodu. Tak? Tylko jak? What?
Rory's not one for cleaning up after himself. Rory's not one for cleaning up after himself.
Okej. No to wychodzimy. Noc. Owiedź się w koc, bo pewnie zimno jest. Nie? Zobaczymy. Strasznie długie te wczytywania, serio. Czasami rozprasza i wybija z imersji.
What is it?
I'll get you back. You again.
Stop monkeying around. Come with me.
I'll come inside in a bit.
Don't go.
Can I just have a few
It's
more
not a request, Carol.
Don't worry. I'll be fine.
What's happening to me?
David? Is everything all right?
We should make haste.
Ciekawe to było. Bardzo ciekawe. Rory, coś ciekawego?
Nobody in this house is particularly chatty. Not even when I have an actual question for them.
Dobra. Czy tu może być jakieś ukryte wejście? Nine. A. A tutaj? Nie sądzę. Chyba, że podpłyniemy. Nie, nabijam się.
Oh, stunning. How curious. Come and look at this.
Co takiego?
Look, they form a clear circle.
This can't be a fluke.
Well, looks like one of the stones is missing.
A heavy enough stone to weigh yourself down with. I've never seen a rose like this before.
I have. The gardener, Rory. He brought some down from the glass house.
Something's carved into each one.
Okej. X1.
We need to examine the maid's body in the cellar.
To find out who killed her.
To be sure she was murdered before we start pointing fingers.
Co robimy? Do Rorego? Rory. Kogoś tu przyprowadził. A znaczy do kogoś tu przyszedł, bo zakładam, że przyszedł tu do kobiety, która się zabiła, nie? No cześć, Rory.
That's an unusual looking rose. I noticed one lying by the side of the loch.
Aye, that's been me. A flower for the flower of Scahandu, Cecilia.
My aunt? They're for her.
I grew 'em for her. She loved the roses, did Cecilia. No the red ones, though. Made her think of blood, ye ken.
Forgive me, but wouldn't it be more fitting to place them on her grave?
Why, she's no there, is she, laddie? That's not where she rests. And I don't much stand by your modern god.
Rory, what happened to her? What happened to Cecilia?
I'm not in the mood to open old wounds, laddie.
There are some strange markings carved into the stones on the shore.
Runes, aye. I'm old-fashioned, I suppose. Still hold to the old ways.
Superstitions don't gain validity just by being believed in for a long time.
I'd watch that. Your precious science doesn't have all the answers, lassie.
May I have some of the roses, Rory? I'd like to place them on Cecilia's grave.
What's she to you? You didn't ken her.
No, I didn't. But she's family. And besides, Father always spoke fondly of her. He would even smile as he talked about playing in the gardens with her as a child.
He did he? Aye, well, that's good to ken. I should have some left in the glass house.
I'll speak to you later, Rory.
Aye, I'm sure you will, laddie.
No dobra. To...
Sorry, lassie, but you can't go in. It's for family only.
Just hold on a moment.
No, it's okay. I quite understand. You go ahead, and I'll wait here for you. If I must.
Aye, you must.
Focha szczeliła. No trudno. Ale przynajmniej ja mogę wejść, nie? Będę miał kolejne widzenie, prawda?
I know, it doesn't look like I have green fingers.
Gdzieś będzie fragment zdjęcia.
Looking to break some more locks, laddie.
Are these...
Aye, Cecilia's roses.
They're beautiful.
I like to think so.
But they seem to be the only thing that grows here. These are... dead as dodos.
Hard to raise anything beautiful here, ever since Cecilia's gone.
Nie widzę tu nigdzie zdjątka. Jest szansa, że nie ma tutaj fragmentu. Na pewności zobaczę jeszcze na środku podłogi. Nie ma.
Can you tell me about Cecilia? What was she like?
She was a lovely lassie, but she had more than her share of troubles.
Grandfather Edward.
You ken well enough, son.
You said she wasn't in her grave.
Aye, that I did.
Did she drown?
She did. Killed herself. Her body was never found. Now all I have of her is my memories. And they are not what they were. And this.
That is exquisite. Cecilia made this.
She made it, aye. For me. Girl must have cut her fingers 100 times doing it. On the thorns, ye ken.
No ciekawe.
You are unworthy of the name Gordon.
Get away from her, you coward!
The saboteurs Edward used. They ended up in this corner.
Oj, miałem zdążyć, okej? Okej. O Boże, ostatni zapis, czyli że co, że tu nie ma autozapisu? Nie wierzę, nie mówcie, że to... Nikt mi nie powiedział, co mam zrobić. O kurna. Okej. Mogę dotykać tych rzeczorków.
You are unworthy of the name Gordon.
Get away from her, you coward!
Get lost!
You monster!
Who is that old woman? It takes courage to confront Edward like that. The saboteurs Edward used. They ended up in this corner. He scratched the word Baron into her arm. What a monster.
They lied to me.
Who did?
All of them.
Nie wariuj. David, nie wariuj. Jest okej, nie świruj.
What just happened?
I could ask you the same thing. You started to talk to yourself. And then you were throwing your arms about like you were fighting something. I couldn't see what. You started bawling and the lassie came in to see what was going on. She tried to settle you, but you just went for her.
I saw an old lady. She wore a long, flowing dress. Her voice was strong, determined.
Sounds like Rosemary. She were Lady Margaret's mother.
Was Cecilia not able to have children? Did that anger Grandfather Edward?
Maybe you can see well enough too, son. Maybe you can. It wasn't her. It was her husband. He was the bother. Couldn't... you ken?
I think so, yes.
Aye, well, Edward blamed Cecilia for it. For picking the wrong man for her mate. You'll be fine, laddie. You just need some fresh air. This place can get to you.
Okej. Co z różą? Na Cecylii? Chyba nic.
These are dead as dodos.
Hard to raise anything beautiful here, ever since Cecilia's gone.
Dobra. Czy gdzieś nie ma fragmentu zdjęcia po tej akcji?
The crack is right there. Edward was furious. Seems like him and great-grandmother Rose didn't see eye to eye.
Ha.
The secateurs should be... Here they are. How could I know? This seems awfully accurate for a forgotten memory.
I co, mam go? No nie. Dobra, to wychodzimy. Trzeba się wytłumaczyć pani doktor. Nie ukrywam, że musiałem ją nieźle nastraszyć.
Trust your instincts, laddie.
W porządku. Mój instynkt jak na razie mnie nie zawiódł. Poza pewnymi rzeczami, które były absurdalne. O kurde.
David, are you all right?
Przeproś.
Am I alright? I should be asking you. I'm so sorry I hurt you. I don't know what happened.
Don't worry. I faced much worse in the asylum.
She's tough. I don't think it's possible to face her. Sorry again.
Maybe don't leave me outside like a naughty puppy next time.
Yes, quite. I think that Edward may be responsible for the death of my Aunt Cecilia. Not directly. She drowned herself in the loch. I think that Edward drove her to it.
Old families usually have a skeleton or two in the cupboard.
Yes, but my family has a graveyard full. I feel like the madness that runs through this family, through these walls, is starting to seep into me too.
I can help you, but you need to open up. You need to start talking to me.
You would not believe me if I told you.
Stubborn, just like your father.
Whatever secret this family is hiding, it's costing lives. Cecilia, the maid, my father. God knows how many more over the years.
Okej. Musimy się dostać do... do piwnicy. Tylko jak? Kurde. Nie mam pojęcia. Z tej strony nie ma nic. Zobaczmy łódkę. Mam ochotę ogarnąć łódkę. Jeszcze miejsce, gdzie są kamienie z runami. Ponoć odrobina świeżego powietrza dobrze mi zrobi. Coś nowego? Nine. Dobra. Wobec tego rozumiem, że musimy udać się do... albo do domu, albo jeszcze zobaczyć groby. Cholera jasna, syp na jedzenie. Syp na żarcie. Przecież to takie oczywiste. Bingo wręcz. O, wszedłem tędy. A, okej. A, do kuchni którędy? Nie pamiętam. Czyżby w prawo? Nie pamiętam, gdzie się szło do kuchni, kurczę.
If you'd just like to wait out here, sir.
I need to speak with Eddie.
The young master and her ladyship are otherwise detained.
May I remind you, this is my house?
May I remind you that it is not yours yet.
Nie chcę go odpychać. Fuck. Nie mogę też zapisać gry i nie zrobiłem tego wcześniej. Brawo. Brawo, kurwa.
Might as well try moving a mountain out of the way.
Okej.
Fair enough. There's no doubt about his loyalty, nor with whom it lies. Mr. McKinnon, Angus, may I have the key to the cellar?
You may not, sir. As Mr. Harrison said, it will remain locked until the police arrive.
That's a fair point. I'm just concerned that some of the game in the cellar may have been caught illegally, poached by young Eddie there.
Well,
I'd be happy to get rid of the evidence. For Eddie to be found poaching on another family's estate could prove embarrassing.
you're barely part of this family, but you have a point.
I do, and I don't think Lady Margaret would take kindly to any such embarrassment.
Upon reflection, removing the evidence may be the best course of action. Here you are, sir.
Charyzma. See ya later, alligator, crocodile, in a while. O rany. To już całkiem nieźle. Przypadkiem, ale nieźle. Przypadki chodzą po ludziach, a te chodzące po mnie są wyjątkowo dobre. Okej, gdzie też wylezę? Tutaj. Znaczy, że do kuchni idę tu. Fajnie mieć takiego towarzysza. Aczkolwiek nic nie mówi zupełnie, nie komentuje tego, co robię, więc to zabawne. O, i idzie tam na przykład teraz, bo myśli, że pójdę sobie w inną stronę, nie? Czemu nie? Po dłuższym zastanowieniu lepszą opcją jednak rzeczywiście będzie klucz, bo kto wie, czy nie złamałaby sobie na przykład karku, nie? Nie chcemy tego. W końcu. Zapis gry. Dzień dobry.
Good thing I found that map. He would have never given up the cellar key otherwise.
No. Byśmy musieli sobie skręcić kark w, no... Wiadomo. Cześć. Za chwilę, okej? Z całym szacuneczkiem, ale po prostu chcę ogarnąć, czy na pewno wszystko jest znalezione poza terenem, miejscem zbrodni. Wydaje się, że nic więcej tu nie ma. Blondie, chodź, idziemy. Potrzebuję światła, więc zapraszam.
They seem to be a house full of carnivores.
Her neck's been broken, and with some considerable force, it seems. Her necklace looks like gold, albeit a plain design. And it's missing any form of pendant.
Still, well beyond a maid's salary. It...
Where's that sudden
Your
draft coming
stag
from?
is here, my little doe.
Little doe. Not exactly the usual way to address the staff. Her clothes. He ripped a seam open. The missing pendant. He threw it into the blood-filled basin.
We're all here, sir. All down in the dark. Something's coming. The attic, sir. She's in the attic.
What just happened? You look like you were in some kind of trance.
Perhaps the lack of sleep is affecting me. Or the visions that you'd think me insane if I described them to you.
I know you're holding out on me. I am on your side, remember? I thought I'd proven that to you already.
Perhaps I'm misjudging her.
Your father wouldn't speak to me either. Please let me help you.
Or not. I'm not a patient. I'm not a madman.
Człowieku, jesteś skrajnie niezdecydowany, serio.
Ugh, that's horrible.
You're not the one with your hand in it. French. I don't speak French.
I do. It says for Clara, forever yours. Who's Clara?
I don't know. Yet another relative, perhaps?
We should ask someone who's been around here for longer. How did you know it was there? The pendant, I mean.
If I told you, you wouldn't believe me.
Nie powtarzaj się.
A hunch. Eddie gave this to her. We should ask him to his face just what his relationship was with her.
This isn't another ghost story, is it?
Look, you wouldn't understand. I can't...
What I do understand is that we cannot accuse a man of murder without proof.
The scene really did rip when she tried to get away from him.
Okej, coś jeszcze? Nine? 0, 0, nic? Serio? No dobra. A co z kolei się kryje na strychu, bo zaciągamy na ten strych, a tutaj już nic nie ma. Już Eddie Alvarez nic tu nie przyniósł ciekawego? Chyba nie. Oh well. To co? Idziemy na strych? Albo na przykład uderzamy twarzą w ścianę? Nic więcej tu nie ma na pewno. Chyba nie. No trudno. Czego się dowiedziałem, tego się dowiedziałem. Chyba, że tak na ciebie wpadłem. Okej. No to chyba nie pozostaje nic innego, jak sobie pójść, nie? Żadnych ukrytych zdjęć. Nine. Na strychu. Słuchaj, pójdziemy na strych, bo mam znowu przeczucie, wiesz? Wcale żaden duch mi nie powiedział, więc słuchaj mnie. Wiem, co robię. Patataj. Przynajmniej na razie nie jestem zablokowany w miejscu, nie stoję w miejscu. Nie utkwiłem na dłużej. Ostatnio się to zdarzało. A tak trzeci odcinek, przepraszam, czwarty i ten jakoś tak idą na razie. W miarę schludnie. Nadążasz? Bo światła będę potrzebował. Nope. Nie mam klucza, cholera. No dobra. Jak to rozwiązać? Dziadku, wiesz coś? O czym nie wiem?
I've seen firsthand just how terrible a bully he is. Is this what drove my father away?
Spadaj śmierć Alice. Robię co? Staram się przynajmniej. Aczkolwiek nie mam pewności odnośnie tego, czy teraz mogę pogadać z Edim, czy nie.
If Eddie really gave her that pendant, he might be her killer. and I might not be losing my mind. Mr. McKinnon, who is Clara?
The lady, Clara, young Eddie's late mother. A box with some of her belongings are kept in the library, as Master Eddie feels himself more a Gordon than a Mallory.
Maybe once I found out what really happened to Father here, I can finally talk to my family and staff about some lighter topics.
Biblioteka. I pudełko na stole. Do zrobienia. Jak najbardziej do zrobienia. Wiecie co jest świetne? To, że całość jak na razie dzieje się trochę poza zamkiem, ale głównie w zamku. A mimo wszystko wcale się ta lokacja nie nudzi. To jest geniusz jednocześnie architektoniczny, nie? Jeżeli chodzi o rozgrywkę, bo przyjemnie się gra non-stop. Chodzi o ciebie, prawda? Czy nie?
The belongings of Eddie's mother. Recognize that?
The necklace. Is that...
A young Eddie and his mother Clara.
I regret to inform you that your husband, Corporal Victor Mallory, number 874511, was killed in action with the enemy on the day of the 14th of September in Ypres. Your husband was involved in an advance against enemy lines. While he and his fellow soldiers fell, the action was successful, and you can take comfort in knowing his sacrifice saved many lives. It was not possible to get his remains away, and he was buried in a soldier's grave. Please accept the condolences of all the company. Yours, Captain Arthur Jones, 4th Army.
Thank you for your last letter. My heart soars with every word of yours I read. I touch the ink and imagine your fingers are just inches from mine, that we can almost touch, that I can almost feel the warmth of your skin once more. Young Edward grows more like his father each day. You'd be amazed how he shares your looks. I long for the day that this terrible war is ended and you return home to us, so we can be a family once more. I shall write to you again soon. Know that until then you are always in our hearts. Your loving wife, Clara.
The date. She was writing this when the death notice arrived. Oh, the poor woman.
Coś więcej?
You see? The necklace was his mother's. He gave it to the maid. The maid!
You're right. We need to speak to him about this. But how could you know this? I can't help you if you don't tell me.
Cousin Eddie might be a murderer. How I draw my conclusions can wait for now.
Jestem drugim Sherlockiem Holmesem, wierz mi. Jestem drugim Poirot. Jestem drugim, jak się nazywał ten detektyw z Murder Soul Suspect, który był taką łajzą totalną, nie pamiętam. Ale tutaj wstawiam go tylko dla żartu, wierzcie mi, bo fenomenalnym detektywem to on nie był. Patataj. No cześć, jest problem.
Eddie, I need to ask you about the maid. About Ailsa.
You didn't know her!
I know that you and her were... That is to say, I know you had feelings for her.
What? That's poppycock! You're as deranged as your father was!
David, really? You go too far with this behavior.
The police will be here soon. Would you not prefer to clear this up before they get here in case they link Eddie with the crime?
Now look here, young lady. How dare you speak?
That's enough. Eddie. My little doe. Strange thing to call the help.
How? It was just harmless fun, that's all.
You gave her this. It was your mother's.
I did. It was. Eddie! I was just trying to cheer her up. She has nothing, and I had no need of it. You know she sends... You know she sent most of her money home to her grandmother.
Her clothing was ripped, as if someone was trying to force themselves upon her.
I would never have hurt her.
You're a worthless liar. You think she thought being pressed against a dead animal was harmless fun?
How do you know? It's true. Elsa and I would never have laid a finger on her. We were in love. I helped her with everything, even with her chores. Rose and...
That's quite enough. Eddie, you are obviously upset. And you are not helping, David. Angus, will you please take the young master upstairs?
As you say, Mum.
I think you have caused quite enough disruption here. We shall settle this heritage dilemma first thing tomorrow.
I don't think so. I have more questions now than ever. About my father, the maid, this whole damn house.
Have a care, David. Need I remind you of your father's temper?
I would never.
Given the current mental state of Master Eddie, who should be a part of the heritage considerations, any discussion on the topic would be futile at this point. Would you not agree?
Thank you, Leah. Maybe it's a good thing you're here after all.
Impudent brats!
What's going on?
Did you notice when Margaret got angry?
When Eddie mentioned chores involving Rose. What does that mean?
It can only have something to do with Lady Rosemary and Aunt Cecilia, and whatever the maid was doing in the attic.
The attic?
I saw the maid coming down the stairs with a tray, but there's nothing up there but an empty room, or so I thought.
Interesting. What is it, David?
I have to see.
David, wait!
Co tym razem? Najwyraźniej na górę. Hej, jestem kursorem.
You have to start confiding in me, David. What are you seeing?
I think I'm seeing ghosts. Ghosts of those who have died here. I see my father as a child. He's trying to communicate with me.
Perhaps you visited here as a child. Maybe you're remembering stories your father told you of this place when you were young.
You see? I said you wouldn't believe me. I saw Edward in the glass house. He was cutting Cecilia with the succotaurs. I saw where he left them. I found them there. How did I do that? How did I know?
I can't explain that yet either.
So?
So, we focus on the facts as we know them.
Go on.
You saw the maid's body. Her neck was broken. That was the work of a human, not a ghost, yes?
I suppose so, yes.
Lady Margaret knows more than she's saying, that's for sure.
Godspeed getting anything out of that old hag.
No, I know. But Eddie might be an easier option.
Yes. Yes, we need to find him. And make sure Margaret isn't there to interrupt.
I believe she's already gone to bed, but I'll check. You go find Eddie.
Nie rozdzielajmy się, w domu są duchy. Albo się rozdzielmy i wszyscy umrzyjmy. Świetnie. Ale to na tyle w tym odcinku, moi drodzy. Robimy postęp, cieszę się, serio, bo fabuła się rozkręca i wciąga jak dobry odkurzacz, więc mam nadzieję, że się wam podoba i że dobrze się bawiliście. Tymczasem ode mnie to tyle. Trzymajcie się ciepło i do miłego usłyszenia.
Oh, darling, have you started feeling old yet? Don't worry, I'm sure they are still breaking hearts with the efficiency that only youth can harness.